It feels like just yesterday, Marvel Studios revealed that the next set of Avengers films are officially Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. But reports and insiders are still claiming that this is not the full picture, and that Secret Wars is in fact a two-part film with a third Avengers film coming at us a year after, possibly called Secret Wars Part 2 or Avengers Forever. So if you've been keeping up with all the rumors in regards to Marvel Studios' future and what they might be doing, it was reported within the last year that Marvel Studios was possibly planning to cancel what they had in development and reshuffle things around and move another Untitled Avengers project into position for release in May of 2028 on the 20th anniversary of Marvel Studios. And that this project would be reuniting all the original Avengers and possibly called Avengers Forever. Now, at the time, there was also some reports that Secret Wars is in fact going to be too big for just one film, and that they want to split the film into two parts, so we would effectively get in 2026 Avengers Doomsday, 2027 Avengers Secret Wars, and 2028 either Avengers Secret Wars Part 2 or Avengers Forever, or Avengers Secret Wars Avengers Forever, or something like that, people are saying. Whatever the case is, there seems to be a lot of buzz about potentially doing this 20th anniversary film. Now, at the time we were talking about this, I said the more likely scenario to me looked like that Avengers Secret Wars, if they don't get it going in time, could get pushed back into 2028. And that way, it lands on the 20-year anniversary, and then we also have all the Avengers and the original characters returning for one last hurrah after 20 years. Now, if they want to also do Secret Wars and then Avengers Forever is a year after, and it's sort of like an epilogue, or it's just Secret Wars Part 2, but they call it Avengers Forever, that would also be an interesting angle on it and a new, interesting way to handle it. Whatever the case is, and maybe this is just me, but I feel like there's going to be the ultimate amount of burnout for Avengers. 3 Avengers films in 3 years? I mean, guys, look. Doomsday's going to be big, and then they follow up a year after with Secret Wars. It's going to be Infinity War and Endgame all over again. But let's just for a second think about adding another film in there. That way, Secret Wars becomes a middle chapter. Typically, middle chapters always take a dip for franchises, or sometimes they're perceived as the best one, and I can certainly argue Empire Strikes Back is that. But many times people see the middle chapter of a trilogy kind of as and things move slow, and they don't like some of the character arcs and things like that, because they leave them on such a cliffhanger. Honestly, I kind of hope that this turns out to be false. I'll just be real with you. I don't want 3 Avengers films that close to one another. I think that would be ultimate market saturation. I think it poses a lot of problems. And I just think it's a little too much too soon. But if they were to split Secret Wars into Part 1 and Part 2, I think they got to go back to the initial plan, where Kang Dynasty was coming out in May, and Secret Wars was out in like October, November. If they're going to do Secret Wars as a 2-part, Secret Wars Part 1, May of 27, Part 2, later. And you're done. And then next year, it's the soft reboot effect, but you can't do 3 Avengers films that quick, all named differently. That's literally ultimate burnout. So I would say, if anything, Secret Wars Part 1 and Part 2 is probably the optimal choice and the better one.